to use reversible stamps to create this cute card. So this card is real simple design, and it's all about the stamping today. All right, so let's start with that. My name's Kimberly Smith. I'm the paper chef. At the end of this video, I'll be opening some Happy Mail, the new paper pumpkin kit that just arrived. So stick around for that. Yesterday, I showed a lot of sneak peeks as well of other projects we're working on. This is my YouTube channel. We do a lot of crafting here. And now this particular tutorial is part of this month's Card on Blue Card Club kit. So everybody that got the kit, you have the supplies and you can follow along. I'm just going to use the inside of this paper. So you guys voted on this one, Feathered Fun. We'll use Feathered Fun for the stamping and the blooming phrases for the sentiment. Anyway, because it was raining, I had to rescue a frog in my garage. He was running around. He's been stuck in there for a while. My cat's been loving it. She keeps on wanting to go to the garage. I wasn't sure why. Because she's like thinking this is her little torture chamber. She's running around chasing the darn frog everywhere. And it came in from the rain and it needed to be outside. It didn't need to be stuck in the garage where it's all dry. It would have shriveled up and died. So I had to run around and catch the thing. And I used my 12 by 12 Stampin' Up! Paper packages and kind of corralled it to get out the door. I had to turn out the lights though, because it kept trying to go toward the light, which was in my house. And then I had to turn out the lights and do this like in the dark, trying to get the cat to not mess around with the poor frog. Anyway, it was fun. That's why I was a little late. These are the things I do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. Let's see, I'm just going to put it on the paper so it sticks. So this part is the line part. So I have the flat part down right now. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use Daffodil Delight ink for this stamp. Now we're going to off stamp, so it's going to look lighter than the Daffodil Delight. We'll stamp on the paper and then we'll stamp on the little die cut piece, which I think is in my bucket of crafty goodness. Maybe not this one. Let's see where I put that die cut shape. I think it's in this other bucket of crafty goodness. Maybe it's... Okay, here we go. So I have you're using the dies from the Countryside Corners. We'll go ahead and do 2 of those. I always like to do more than one in my tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and put these right here. And we'll go ahead and stamp this onto the paper. So we need a good stamped image. So that's really good, right? And then we need a second stamped image. So we're going to stamp it right on here toward the bottom. Okay, so you could use it, you could make it darker if you want. Maybe we'll do one each way, but I think the lighter side worked a little better. Yeah, I do like this way. I'm not going to do a darker one. So I'm going to take the ink, I'm going to stamp onto the paper, just so it's not so dark. And then we're going to stamp on here. And I think I didn't center that very well. All right, where's... Getting another die cut. I could just flip it over as well. Okay, let's pull a couple out of here. We don't have to keep on going back into that bucket of... Oh yeah, it's not bad. It's not that it's completely off center, but just not quite. Okay, we shall look straight down at this. Now, if that's all you do, you are going to have, and then you're going to use the black part, the black line, you're going to have a great stamped image because it's already be colored. Your birds are already be colored. So now we're going to go ahead and put the flat side onto the stamping block. And we will go ahead and close the Daffodil Delight ink. And we'll get out the Tuxedo Black ink. Now this is the Memento Black. So because this stamp is so much bigger than normal stamps, it's not going to really, you're not going to be able to stamp the whole thing at once. So you're going to get in there, turn your stamp upside down. And before you stamp onto your die cut shape that's part of your card clip kit, you want to always get a good stamped image on your scrap paper first. Okay, so we have the reverse. And now you're going to align this. That's what photopolymer stamps are for. But of course, I had to put on my glasses because really it's hard to align without your glasses. And I'm going to stamp right onto there with the black Memento ink. I'm doing that because I'm also going to color with the Stampin' Blends a little bit, just a little. Ooh, that came out nice. All right, so far so good. I'm going to do a couple more. So that's reversible stamps. Reversible stamps are complete mirror images of each other. They go both ways, and you can use them for your projects. So we have other reversible stamps we've used in my card club, which has been around for over 2 years now. We used last year the turtles. They were called the Sea Turtles, I think, was the stamp set, and that was a reversible stamp set. There's also, I think there was a butterfly reversible stamp set. Stampin' Up! Makes at least one new one for each catalog. Okay, that came out nice as well. And third time. We're going to try it again. Just go ahead and get on my tippy toes here to try to look through the camera to try to line that up real well. All right, they all came out pretty well, so I'm happy with those. So now we will wash that, and now we need, we'll keep using our scrap, we need this little branch so on each side. So we're going to take, for this, I always like to, use a sticky note. Just so I don't mess this up, right? We're going to put a little sticky note there. Right there. Let's see. Just in case. Just in case. I just don't want I don't want any ink getting on my bird. I just want the crumb cake little branch to be on the side. So. Now let's look what I did here. All right. Okay, it was something like, I went like that. Okay, so the bird is sitting up on the branch. All right, good. I'll flip that around. I think it should be fine if you just leave it like that. Maybe even I want the branch in a little bit, like, so we'll go like that. Okay, so you're masking. Now, those of you that have my workshop kits, get the masking paper included in their kit. So you can also use masking paper if you don't have a sticky note. Okay, stick it on that side. Flip it around. If I want a little bit of the branch showing, then I got to move that in a little bit. So far, so good. Keep on going. Flip it around. I have a perfect friend to send this card to. Her name is Sunny. Do you guys have a friend that has a bird? I mean, she's had the birds forever, but they talk every time you go there. They say all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, anyone would like this, but especially people or your friends that have birds as pets. All right, so far so good. Now we need the crumb cake. I mean, not the crumb cake, the Old Olive next. Old Olive ink for the leaves. So we're going to open up Old Olive. Why do I pick all these colors? Well, I pick all these colors because they are part of the, they coordinate with this paper, the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. So that's why I picked those certain ones. Now, every stamp in this entire set is reversible, even the leaves. But we don't need to reverse the leaves. I'm just going to use the texture side of the leaves. So there's a big leaf and a small leaf. Let's just go ahead and I just want to see which side has the lines on it. I want the side with the lines on it, in other words. So we're going to go like, come on, get off me. It's sticking to me. Sometimes it's easier to stick when you put it on a piece of paper first. Okay, see that? So that's the first stamp. It's called like first generation stamping. And then you can use that, or you can just use the second generation stamp. So you can stamp once onto your paper, like so. And then you can stamp onto your scene, right? Something like that. Okay. Stamp on. Stamp off. Wax on. Wax off. All right, so now we could do a couple with, like, without doing the second generation. We'll just do first generation stamping. So a couple darker stamps. We're just building a little scene here. We're causing a scene. We're creating a scene. There we go. Let me look for... I sometimes get my little markers to touch up things. So I'm seeing a little need for a touch-up right there. That's what's great about markers, is touching up. I see a little need for a touch-up right there. And you can also use markers to actually color your stamps as well. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to go ahead and put one right there. All right, so that's good. I mean, that's good enough for our big leaf, and I'm going to now use the small leaf. So we'll put that on the stamping block. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, it's looking good. Let's see, we'll put that right here. I'm just going to do the darker ones first. There is a sort of flat side, so that's going to be the side I use first. All right, looking good. Now we're going to take the same stamp and we'll stamp onto my paper. And we'll make a couple more leaves. So until we get an odd number, this seems pretty good. Well, it doesn't have to be an odd number. I did 7 on this one, my original 7. So we can go ahead and try that. Let's go like that. 1. And I'm going to put one over there. Put one over here. I'm going to go ahead and do 7 on this one. Stamp onto here. And I think I'll do one right there. All right, so this one's done, except for I need my sentiment on top. But we have 7 little leaves. That's a good odd number. We'll put that over there. And this one I can keep building. We'll put a little dark one. Then we'll put a light one. You might be wondering, why am I not using the stamp right away again? Because this paper has such good ink absorption. So I don't want to... If I stamp on, it's hard to stamp off of it because this sucks up all the ink. But this paper, it doesn't have as good of ink absorption. So, right? So it's better I do like that. Unless I want it to be dark. Put that one to be dark. And the next one will be light. I'll put one up here. Okay, so I have 7, 7, and 7. So we have... Those are done. So now we're still going to use the scrap paper because we need to use this. Now, when you take your stamps off, put them on something so you don't lose them. Like stick them onto another stamping block. Old Olive is done. And we're now going to take out, I think I'm done with the black as well. So we've used lots of colors. We'll write that down for you later. Okay, Blackberry Bliss. And we're going to use the Blooming Phrases. This was voted on for last month. We used it as last month's Card on Blue Card Club kit. Card Club, does it? Nope, that says happy. Nothing wrong with saying happy, but that's not the one I want. So this was what we used last month to feature stamp set. So I like to use things as much as I can again, and before something retires, so meaning retires from Stampin' Up. It may never retire from your collection, but it might retire from Stampin' Up. See, that's crisp right out of the gate. That's a good stamped image. So thanks. Now we're going to put that on here, and it's not going to go all the way across because some of it will stick off the page. Just if you want it to be centered. That's a glyph. That's the little tail of this. So that you don't get the full benefit of the extra little glyph at the end of the word because of this is not big enough, this little die cut shape. It's not big enough to hold the whole stamp. But if you want to use a little scrap piece, that'll be fine as well. So that's Blackberry Bliss. And now it's time to do a little coloring. This month we've been using Stampin' Blends. Let's get rid of this little piece of hair. I'll put that on my baby trash can. So let's see. We only need a couple things for this one. We're going to go ahead and pull out this again. This is our peach pie I've been using on all the beaks. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that done. Let's go ahead and color all the beaks with the peach pie marker. Why peach pie? Because it coordinates with the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. Okay, and now it looks like I used peach pie. I'm just looking at this. I can tell. I'm just looking and seeing what I used. So I didn't actually write it down. I did it a while back. So it's gonna be peach pie, light and dark, and then daffodil delight, light and dark. And maybe I even used some marker on. I think I might have used a marker on this part, but we'll see. I think I used these. It looks like I used these too. And a little petal, maybe a little one of these too. I might have used the light pretty and pink, but we'll see. We'll do one and see what happens and see how it comes out. So I'm going to recreate my original or maybe come up with something new. We are going to take the peach pie, and I believe that's what I used for all these little parts here. Just every other line. Every other line meaning you have dark peach pie, you have light peach pie. And that gives you that nice, like, blend, differentiated look there. All right, and I'm just trying to make the birds sort of come to life. And they'd also look nice the way they were, but it's also good to add some extra color with all these detailed lines. And I like how big they are for coloring. Okay, so yay for peach pie. We did that one. A little bit, I think, a little bit right there. Okay, now I'm going to take that and put it over here, and I'm going to take the light peach pie. Oops, I forgot to finish that one. Or sometimes you forget whole sections. We're going to go look at the others too to make sure I didn't forget any sections. They look good. If you're blending two colors, you want to do it before it dries. But in this case, I'm not really blending these. I'm just using alternate lines. So you already have a really cool background with your reversible stamp. So it's not like you have to do anything else. It's just that I'm doing this extra because I just thought it looked cool. All right, now I'm thinking that I used the light peach pie, and I may have, because I don't think I have any timid tiger blends right now. So I don't think I used those. Yeah, and so I might have used this pretty in pink is what I think I used. And I mean, if not, that's what I'm using. It's just what I'm going to use. I think it'll be fine. It gives it that sort of orange look. Nope, I know I didn't use Timid Tiger Blends because that is another color that if I did use it, it would be around here right now. All right, and then I did use over here, I forgot these little sections over here with the, I'm going back to Peach Pie real quick. Forgot these sections over here. All right, so this was the dark, pretty, and pink. I'm going to go over that whole section with the light, pretty, and pink, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this little bit on the head just for fun. Okay, almost there, and I think I was going to do something with the little feet, that little foot over there. You can just put a little something there. I just want to make that a little bit different color just by taking this. I'm going to write down all the colors I used as well, so don't worry about that. You can just kind of watch, just sort of watch these come to life. Oh, there was another little foot over there. Or is it not really a foot? What are they? I guess a claw. Like that's gripping over. All right, so then take the light, pretty, and pink. And I'm just going to go over these sections. I colored outside the lines a lot with the dark, pretty, and pink, so now I'm just kind of getting in there and doing the light one. All right. Okay, next I want to go over, I think I went over everything with the Daffodil Delight. So that's how I got this really cool look. I think some of them came out orange. So this one, I think I did the heads in this as well. And then I lightened it up. So I'm going to show you how to lighten something up. I can't wait to see how other people color the birds, because I mean, there's so many different ways you can do this. All right, let's look. I'm going to say that I used probably the dark on the outside, Daffodil Delight, and then I just used like the light on the inside. So we're going to go around the whole thing like that. I'm going to blend this a little bit, so we're going to do one at a time, because if you don't blend it quickly, it dries. So you want to do it like one at a time. And if you don't have Daffodil Delight blends, you can use your lolly, your lemon lolly. You know, or you can use like something like that, or maybe you have an old So Saffron. Something like that's an older sort of yellowish color that's retired, but, or you could just leave your birds as is with the reversible stamps, and they'll be fine the way they are. All right. That one is, I mean, it's almost done. And the only thing I would do left before, I'm going to do it before it dries, is I'm going to take my color lifter and I lightened up the heads. That's what I did on my original, I could tell. So we're going to go ahead and you'll watch them just, it's like invisible ink. You'll just watch these really get lightened up as the ink disappears. It's so cool. Yay. Now we're going to take Dark Daffodil Delight. You see why I made this tutorial number 3. It's the longest of all my tutorials for this month's card club. The rest of them don't usually have as much technique. They're usually pretty simple cards. It still is a pretty simple card. And you can you don't even have to do all this extra coloring because using reversible stamps already makes your image pretty awesome. This is just like extra really cool ways to color. Color it again with the blends over the top. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 at once because you already got to see the original. Light. Circular motions is what I like. Blends it really well. I'm leaving that one little section in the middle open. Okay. Good, good, good. Just blending those colors together. If you want the tail feathers to be more orange, then you can also go over these, you know, with this Daffodil Delight a little bit if you want sort of like an orangey look. I'm just going to go over a few of them that don't look all the way blended yet. I'm just going to go ahead and do that to them. So basically, it's another way of lightening. It's the same thing. It's the same concept of when I was lightening the face with that thing called a color lifter. You can use a lighter color on a darker color, which is like using a color lifter. And it's also a way of like making new colors all together. So you're blending them. All right, let's see. I'm just seeing because I got some ink over here if I can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to lighten that because it looks like regular ink, not alcohol marker. I got some stuff kind of smudges all over the place. We'll see if I can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix them. So, you know, we can always cover them with embellishments. No big deal. So that is how to color. Now let's do a little bit of cutting. Not much cutting. We're going to, I already have some pieces here. Let's see, that's already ready. Yep, 3.5. Okay, so we have this piece, which is the back of this piece. It's the floral piece. These are celebratory sips. Really cool paper. You'll love this paper. It's the one that has all the little, you know, mixed drinks on it and stuff like that. So it's in your kit. So we'll get out those pieces. First piece is going to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay, 5 1/4 by 4 inches. The next one will be 4 3/4 by 3.5 inches, which that part was already cut. So we have a nice border basically. We have a 1/2 inch border instead of our normal 1/4 inch border. You have a 1/2 inch border. So we had again 5 1/4 by 4, and we have 4 3/4 by 3.5. That's all for that. We need a little piece of ribbon. It was part of your kit. I'm also just plugging in. Gotta plug in this. It's on low battery again. This ribbon, Night of Navy bordered ribbon. So you're going to take a little piece like so and just, you know, cut that off. We'll wrap it around the back. I need this little piece off of here because this is my little tape that holds. I sometimes use ribbon keepers, but it's just easier just to use my tape. All right, now let's get this little frayed piece cut a little better. Sometimes my snips work better. So let's put this layer. Isn't this paper awesome? I just didn't want to use the tropical drink side this month because I didn't want to take away from like the cool birds as the main focus of the, and I thought that would be too busy as a background. So that's why I'm using this side. It's still tropical and it's still fun, but it's not going to distract. Okay, now I'm just putting a piece of adhesive across the middle, the Seal Plus adhesive for the ribbon. Flip it over, stick a little adhesive there, and a little more there. You can cut extra ribbon off so it's not such a bulky card. And then I go right over the ribbon for good measure. Like right over the top of that line. All right, one moment. Let me grab. This month's card club colors were, well, this was Strawberry Slush and Misty Moonlight. So we're just going to use the Strawberry Slush piece. Looks like I already got ink on that one. All right. When something sticks together, just take it off slowly, so you don't rip your paper. You rip your card, I mean. Guess that'll be our front side because I did rip it a little bit. Okay, nice 1/4 inch border around the edges and then a 1/2 inch border around these two layers. And then you're going to notice a couple things that I do. You have your Strawberry Slush background. I'm tying in the Strawberry Slush because the dots on this paper are Strawberry Slush. You have your Old Olive layer here. I'm tying in the Old Olive by making the leaves Old Olive on the back of that. Okay, let's see which one I like better. This one looks the best, but it does have a little, needs a little fixing on this little corner with my marker. Sometimes I just fix things like little touch up. We need a little dimensionals. They all came out nice, but we're going to use this one. I like it the best. And, of course, you can add some bling to your card. You have some bling, little samples of bling in your card club kit. You know, anything would be cute on here, like any little gems. Just add 3 little gems. Now we're going to add a little Wink of Stella, and we're good to go on that card. Now, I think the card is fine just the way it is, and you can also add, you know, those little brushed brass butterflies. Like I said, some bling. I mean, why not both? But I think Wink of Stella just gives it that extra little something, something. So here's my original. You can see how the Wink of Stella really shines on there. All right, as I'm coloring this, I'm just going to go ahead and start saying hi, because it takes me a minute to color this. Hello, Christina Fullen. Thank you for being a YouTube channel member, a Card on Blue Card Club member, and a fellow late night Georgia viewer of my YouTube channel. Sometimes I get my West Coast friends on here when I come on late at night. You guys know Jekyll Island? That's where I was today. I went there today. It was so crowded. Not necessarily the beaches were crowded, but I mean just just around in general. Summertime, very cool touristy place in the summertime, but sleepy little town in the wintertime. And I'm actually going to color the branch as well. The crumb cake branch with my Wink of Stella. Hello, Robbie Landon. Hello, Ann Coombe. Nice to see you again. She's on my team. Haven't seen you in a while. And thank you guys for checking in and saying hello. Hello, Denise Funk. Nice to see you again. And Phil is always here. Phil Ham. Hello, Paulette Jurgensen. Hello, Karen Tharaldson, another YouTube channel member. Hello, Laura Steiner. She didn't get this set, she's saying, but she's enjoying the Notes and Totes workshop. Yes, we're doing so much fun stuff with that this month as well. We're doing that for 2 months, so we took a little break and do these tutorials this week, and then after I get all 4 of these tutorials done, it's like a 4-night back-to-back in a row card tutorials. Then I will go back to doing Notes and Totes. We'll mix our shaker project. All right, I'm gonna add different bling that was in your, maybe not necessarily in your kit. I'm just gonna see what I have here. Maybe some pearls, maybe some dots. I'm just seeing. Okay, I'm gonna use what's called, I think these, yeah, genial gems. Now you use whatever you have. I'm gonna put one right there. Only I'm doing it now because I want to put something right there to cover that smudge. Okay, so that's all you got to do to cover your smudges. I just put little gems on there. You are a gem. Yes. Trying to think where to put the other one. I'm gonna put the other one right there. So we'll do like 2 and 1 up there. Oh, let's see. I have enough for this card too. Yay! Hold on, I have to get this adhesive off here for a second. There we go. This one, I don't think I have any problems on it. Like, nothing to really cover up. I mean, there's a couple little smudges, but not too bad. I'm just going to use a few little gems like so, like I did on that one. All right. Now, again, you're using whatever's in your kit. So just use whatever gems I sent you. Can you tell I don't remember what I sent you? Not this second. I can't remember what I sent you. But you always get a fun kit each month. So that is that. Now let's show you all the rest of the things. I'm still saying hi. And I want to show you the rest of the things that we made with this stamp set. All right. So question, has anyone ever got stamps or dies with flaws in them? Yes, you can send it. Stampin' Up! Does a, Paulette's asking a question. Stampin' Up! Does have, if you have any problems, call them up because they will help you. You know? Yeah, see? Stampin' Up! May exchange it. It depends on when you bought it, how long ago, but they do have like warranties, guarantees, and all that good stuff. Hello, Gloria Wolf, Sherry Wilker, Sarah Marison. Glad you guys are all here. All right, first thing just to show you is this what's coming up tomorrow. Very easy card. We're going to end with the easy card. And we're still going to write the measurements. Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll write the measurements tomorrow. That's what we'll do. You know what, I want to, just because of time, I want to do my paper pumpkin. So tomorrow we're going to write the measurements for this card and all the ink, and we'll write the measurements for this card. Okay? Because like I did yesterday, I did 2 at once. Just hopefully I won't screw it up this time. All right, then we've also, so this is this month's card on Blue Card Club. So this is called Celebratory Sips. So we had our reversible stamp, we have our Celebratory Sips, and these are the 2 cards you make with that paper. And then we had our Everyday Skies paper. And these are the 2 cards you made with the Everyday Skies paper. Okay? Everyday Skies is another type of designer series paper that was in this month's kit. All right, let's see. With these cards, we use the Simply Said stamp set. But with these cards, with these 2, okay, let me push it up here. We are using the Blooming Phrases. Well, not this one. This one's also Celebratory. That one's also Simply Said. Just this one, I'm using Blooming Phrases. Okay? So this is Feathered Fun. And then, so what I wanted to show you is I did a scan and cut tutorial with Feathered Fun. I mean, and I showed you how to cut out stamped images using your brother's scan and cut. So this is just another way you can do it. This is another thing you could do with the leftover paper. I embossed it, this little piece here, and I used the Everyday Skies paper. Okay, and then the difference between these cards is not only are they fun folds, but I also cut out these with the scan and cut. Now this one I haven't shown you yet. I was going to show you last night. We just kind of ran out of time there at the end. But this is the Keurig. I was playing around with my, this just kind of popped out. You know when you just, something falls out of your craft stash? This was just sort of coming out of my craft stash saying, try me out, try me out. I'd only used it with some gold paper before. So I tried to use it with last night with some old olive cardstock. Wow, I love how it came out. So this is the corrugated embossing folder. And then I did it reversed this way, a different direction with the strawberry slush. So you can make this card now using all of the things you already have. You can use your Feathered Fun, and you can use your Notes and Totes. The Notes and Totes are right here. This one is the stamp set that we're featuring in this month's, or actually the months of June and July club. Okay, so just another example of what you could do with these birds. And then I have a couple other examples. This one was a swap. Okay. A card swap, meaning a little 3D swap project. Another beautiful use of the birds and coloring the birds and cutting right up to the edge. Katia Naziris. And this was a swap by Amy Combs. And you're going to like this fun fold as well. And this is just something showing you another way to use the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. So this is a really good use of that paper because it's using it for the way that it was intended with all the little tropical drinks. Now, this is one of those sweets that's buy one, get one free. This is Bloom Impressions. That's also buy one, not free, sorry. Buy one, get one 50% off. So our sweet products, if it's something's part of a sweet, it is buy one, get one 50% off this month. All right, so those are some cool things going on my channel. I'm not going to show you the other totes. I'm not going to do the scan and cut sneak peeks tonight. We'll do those later on in the week because we're going to do the sneak peek for today is this just came in the mail. So happy Juneteenth. This post office was closed today, but guess what? This came in the mail because it was delivered by UPS, which I didn't realize that Stampin' Up! Is delivering paper pumpkin kits via UPS. Did you guys know that? I did not know that. I didn't realize UPS just delivers such small packages. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. This came in the mail. And I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what it's called here. It's called Full of Charm. Oh, I think this might be the one that goes with the Charming Day, the new suite that's coming out next month. It might coordinate with that. So I did hear about that. So you get a stamping spot each month when you get a paper pumpkin kit. This is not one of the things on sale. This is a subscription. This is a subscription, meaning you get a box in the mail each month. And it's something that you never know what you're going to get. Unlike our kits collection where you know what you're going to get. This is something that's a surprise. So let's see what it's all about. You get to open it, see my reaction. All right, so that's pretty cool. Here's the Full of Charm sheet that comes with your kit. So it says, let's celebrate you. It's a wonderful, you're to a wonderful friend and miss you. I like the envelopes. I like the cards. There's instructions that you can use or follow if you like or not. You can just do your own thing each month. And the first thing I like to do is see, oh, I forgot to get the coordinating dies. I like to see what the coordinating colors are. So it'll tell you back here like Basic Beige, Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Timid Tiger, and Gold. So that means Pretty Peacock is going to be coordinated with that. And then you can also get the dies that coordinate for a 3-month period, an extra add-on. Only subscribers can get the dies. Okay, these are called distinctive stamping, Full of Charm artwork, meaning there's little places where the ink is more concentrated in certain areas than other areas. So that's pretty cool. Happy Birthday is also another stamp on there, and Celebrate You. Good for graduation. Okay, that's a piece of cardboard. Okay, we always get everything you need in a paper pumpkin kit. Everything except you need a stamping block, which is your free gift when you subscribe. You'll get a stamping block. This has some bling, some little sequins, some glue dots, and some dimensionals. Love all that stuff. And then you get some, oh, I like when they give us a little bag of tear and tape. That's always fun. And then we get all of our little embellishments and things we need to make our cards. Ooh, beautiful die cut shapes. So they pop out. And they're gorgeous, and they're printed, and they're laser cut, and have everything you need there. Okay, and then you have your extra ones. Okay, so 3 of each. So 3 sheets of these, 3 sheets of these. So these are your laser cut pieces. That's why you need so many glue dots to put on the back of those. Or you could use fine tip glue. Ooh, gold foiling. Let me see if I have my Full of Charm. Okay, Full of Charming. It looks like it's going to go with this one, guys. The Charming Day Suite. full of charm. Let's see, full of charm. Sometimes it'll tell us what it goes with. Sometimes there's like a little insert that'll say, I think this is what it's, yeah, it definitely goes with this. Look at that. Look at that. The artwork is almost the same. And you get the gold foiling. So these are pretty cool. I mean, you can't not like this. Even if you're like not even to flowers or something. I mean, you can't not like this. This is very cool. I almost don't want to cover this card up. It's so pretty. Let's see. Okay, but you're going to put one of these. I already popped this one out halfway. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Does it go on top of that? Yep. Wow. So you have your complete piece that goes over the top of that. I almost want to run that through my sticker machine just to have to keep me from having to put all those glue dots on the back of that. I have like a little sticker machine. All right. That's very cool. And next card would be this one here, and you're going to use these pieces for that card. So like this piece that just popped out. Okay, and you're going to layer a bunch of those. And they're very nice too, the gold foil backgrounds. All right, let's keep going. And you have something for your sentiments. Now would you use a big, let's see. Because I always give my stamping spots away as prizes and as part of like mystery boxes, I would just use my big pretty peacock stamping set for that. And then I would just stamp the sentiments onto here. So that's pretty cool. And then this is nice. This reminds me of Notes in Nature, that foil background. And that one is going to use these flowers here. So these are going to go on there. So the first thing I like to do is take all these pieces out. Oh, wow, it's really nice. Just take them all out. And yeah, like something like that. And I would like buff. I'm going to bring that, with my kit. I'm going to sit and buff like any little nibs where it popped out. And then what I would do is probably take a lot of these, find some coordinating colors, and make some other cards out of some of the backs of these. So in other words, I don't make only the card style here. I like to make some other styles of cards. All right. And then I could use this, but this one's probably going to be a prize for my bingo that I have upcoming. And let's tell you when that would be. I think it's going to be a Saturday night this time. July 26th at 7 p.m. Okay. I made it at the end of the summer to give me lots of time to prepare for it because everybody that's in my card club is going to get a free bingo card to play. My team members can request a free bingo card as well, as could a Patreon member. But you get a discount if you want the whole bingo kit as well. And you get 3 bingo cards. Then you get to play all the games with more cards, more chances to win. So that's some things coming up. And then, of course, I have a Scan and Cut virtual retreat that I will tell you about. Let's tell you the dates. Okay, so tomorrow we will be talking about the measurements of the card I made today because it's an easy card we're making tomorrow. And then we'll talk more about, I'll just show you some sneak peeks of what we're making in this event. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the paper pumpkin unboxing. I know I sure did. If you just got here, and you're like, what is she on about? Today we made, let's find it, we made this card. Well, we made 2 of them somewhere. We did make this card. There's another one somewhere. So I taught you how to use the reversible stamp sets in Feathered Fun. And we created this little scene on I think it's called Countryside Corners dies that's included in your kit. We made that. We have the stamp came from Blooming Phrases. That's where the thanks came from. And the birds came from this month's Card on Blue Card Club kit called Feathered Fun. Oh, yeah. So Phil's saying she loves those pink flowers. And Sarah's saying she wishes she could get the paper pumpkin in Australia. And I think it's true. I really wish you could as well. So, and Gloria got her paper pumpkin kit too. Every month I get excited for all the crafty goodness, Denise said. Robbie said thank you. And Sarah likes the kit too. Looks nice. And you're very welcome, Sherry. All right. Well, that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening. Hope you get to play and do some crafts. It's always fun to be creative. All right. I'm reading some more comments from Phil. All right. Catch you all later. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great day.